That's what this is. So I ended up getting the white knuckle off-road sliders. These are the 10 degrees. I'm hoping that I'll like them. They're a little pricey, but heard a lot of reviews on it. Been thinking about it. I was actually going to do the standard trail gear and just weld it myself, but figured that I didn't want to weld anything in the truck, well, especially on the frame. So I ended up getting these. It took about 3 months to get. I ended up picking up myself because there was other stuff I had to do, actually local to them. Turns out it was only like literally 5 minutes away from the shop of White Knuckles Off-Road warehouse or shop. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna do a step-by-step installation on this thing. So you get all these what do you call it, the U-bolts, get the crush nuts, and I'm sure the washer's in there. But yeah, if you look at it carefully, it actually looks really nice, the welding. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. It's clean. Got it powder coated black to match my ARB front bumper. It does have the manual, I believe. Let's see here. So we're gonna open this up and see exactly what are the directions how to do it. But hey, check that out. You know, you bought this thing just for the stickers. But directions, what comes with it, what's required to install it, gives you the installation instructions. So it also has pictures of the step-by-step and how to put the U-bolts in. So I'm going to need 2 jack stands. I'm going to have to probably detach some of my brake lines to do it. But yeah, and it also comes with a kit right there for the to extend the brake line. But we'll figure that out step by step and see how we can do this. Notice that there's not much of step by step how to do it in 80 series. I've seen some with the 100 series, but not in 80 series. But we'll check it out.
It's recording right now.
Alright, so we're going to take all these U-bolts out. And then we got this U-bolts, which should have everything in here. Yeah, so you do get the nuts and bolts, crush washer, and then you get the 2 little bolts here that'll extend your brake lines when you get in there later. So we're going to do the driver's side first, and then we'll do the passenger side. The passenger side is going to be a little harder because of the catalytic converter. That's one of the main reasons why I got this, so that no one steals a catalytic converter on these trucks, because they're like $1,000 a piece from what I heard. So I don't want to do that. Cut these out. Blade, rusted out blade. I'm too lazy to get my actual blade. When it matters, probably rip that. Scratch this thing if you start falling on it. A little more confident to use it now on the box. But it's packed pretty nice actually. It was getting ready to be shipped out until I called them and told them I was going to pick it up. Alright, so by white knuckle off-road instructions, you got to put a jack underneath and you kind of set it up to where the frame is at. So kind of mock it up into it, and then we'll put the U-joint, the U-bolts into it. So the instructions and also the U-bolts, which includes the washers, the lock nuts and stuff. Try to separate them all. You get a total of 5 and this is the one for the brake lines. To get the bolts. Gotta figure out what these ones are for. They might also be for the later models, 80 series. So you got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 4 of these. 10 nuts. Crush washers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then 10 washers. 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright. Okay, so basically bolts right here, if you can see that. Right here. You can see that right there. I believe that's a 14 millimeter. Got another one right here we gotta take out. And another one right here. There's another bolt right here. So basically all we're gonna do is try to gap this thing up so you can put the U-bolts in between it so you're not crushing the line, the brake line. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, so gotta remove the bolts. This is actually a 12 millimeter bolt that you gotta remove from here. That was on this side. And then there's another one that was on here. And this one here in the center doesn't have it. So what we gotta do is basically put this in between that. So if I can get this with one hand, pry this up, and in between, if you can see it, but in between there, that's where you're gonna put that little washer or that little piece so that it's actually gapped. So we go this way and do that. So we're gonna start with the center first, right here, so that we can actually move it around if we need to. Put the U-bolt there. Alright, so what I had to do was basically manhandle this thing. So you put the U-bolts in the center piece so that you can actually, it'll hold it, but it's not perfectly aligned yet. You can align it, so make sure you put it in the middle. And then you can actually remove the jacks out of the way so you got room. So yeah, that's how it's gonna look for right now. Put U-bolts in that one there, and then also in this side here, and we'll start from there. Alright, so we had this thing installed. I'll show you where the bolts is right now, but I'll try to even it out where we're at here. About 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. So it's pretty even. Also, just show you guys. So that's all bolted up like that. You can see right there. You can also see the gap of the brake line. So this right here comes to play. So you're just gonna have to put this in between these two lines here, so it's gapped. If you can see that. So I'm gonna put this like this, and I'll show you guys how when it's done. It's kind of hard to hold a camera and tools at the same time, so give me a second here. So we got the little gap bolts there, and also one on this side. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's all the way in here. But we also got that one hooked up, so nothing's actually hitting it. The lines are actually gapped pretty good because you had that extra bracket that come in there. This one here just kind of bend it out just a slight bit, so make sure you don't crimp it too much so that you don't get no leaks. But that should be it. It was easy. Maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, somewhere. I don't know about the driver's side yet. We're gonna find out. Alright, so these are final thing on the passenger side. Notice that it's kind of wet right here. I don't know if you can see that, but put some WD-40 on it so that the bolts come in a little easier and it doesn't strip, because for years going off the road. You're gonna get some pieces of sand in there and some rocks. And it looks pretty good, as you can see that it's blocking the catalytic converters. That's one of the main reasons why I got this one. Was because of that. So it'll protect the catalytic converter. Also prevents it from someone stealing it. There's been a lot of people stealing some catalytic converters here in California, so it's worth the price for just getting these and saving the money on buying a new catalytic converter. But just to give you a heads up, my wife had to help me in this side because it's a little tricky. And the only reason why it's a little tricky is because it's a little heavy. It's heavier than the other one, the driver's side. I'm gonna say about additional 15-20 pounds. But I would recommend when you do this side, underneath the muffler right here, there's that little piece right here, this little cover for the muffler, that little shield. So I would slide the U-bolts in first and then kind of crooking it, you know, using it this, moving it this way. And then put the slider into it, because you're not going to be able to, you don't have enough room for this guy, if you can see that, to put the U-bolts in the way you want it. So it's easier if I would start from the back first and then work your center. I would just use a jack for this side. And then normally they say you on the website, but I believe it refers to the 100 series, that you're supposed to have it flushed into the body firewall or frame or wheelbase. But you're really in the 80 series, especially for the FZGA 80, you really have no choice, because you have to bolt these guys on to the bottom of the catalytic converter. So there's no adjustments on it, it's just basically set. But yeah, I mean, everything else looks good. I want to say total installation is probably about an hour and a half for both, 30 minutes each. Yeah, I like it. You also notice that there is the slider for the catalytic converters, which is cool. You see it right here. I'm sure it's very functional. So yeah, don't forget to use Loctite once you start putting the bolts in. Prevents it from reversing out a little bit with all the vibration when you're out in the trails or off-roading. So you know, just to make it safe so it doesn't start unbolting itself way out. Torque it too. I actually don't remember how much I torqued it. I'm assuming it was like 40 pounds, and it held up pretty good. I got really tight on it, so I just left it the way it is so that it doesn't snap or anything. But yeah, thanks for watching. Next install is going to be the winch, so stay tuned for that.